For intermittent years in my life, I struggled with acne, and that's when the breakouts started. And I'm not talking like little pimples here and there. I'm actually talking about painful cystic acne. When I realized that I couldn't fix my acne or it wasn't getting better, my next instinct was, honestly, I think I was just embarrassed. And so I thought, oh, it was just a one-time thing and it's all gone now, so it's all better and it's never gonna happen again. Little did I know, I was wrong. I'm gonna show you guys how it looked. It was incredibly damaging to my self-esteem. I cried about it very often. So for me, the biggest mindset shift was when I went from, it wasn't just a skincare journey anymore. It also started being about self-love. Stop picking at my Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Maunika, and today I'm going to be speaking about something that's extremely personal to me, which is my skin. For intermittent years in my life, I struggled with acne, and I don't just mean a few breakouts here and there or a little when you get a little spotty. I'm actually talking about painful cystic adult acne, and I wanted to share my journey about it and everything that it brought with it today on this video. So keep watching to find out how I went from this to this. Whenever I've had acne, it's made me avoid mirrors. It's made me avoid taking pictures, sometimes even meeting people, because I would just get so conscious. Even today, I don't claim my skin is perfect, but I've come such a long way. I'm incredibly proud of how confident and comfortable I have become in my own skin again. Also, full transparency, I'm not wearing anything in this video. I only have a moisturizer on and lip balm. No makeup, no filters, no tricks here. It's just me and my real skin with no covering up, because I felt it's important to be honest in this video. Now, before we dive in, a quick disclaimer. I'm not a dermatologist. I am only sharing my personal experience. I am gonna share what worked for me, the lessons I've learned, my personal journey through acne. An interesting little fact is that my acne journey didn't start during my teenage years, like it does for most people. I escaped, and I had great skin during my teen years, well into my early 20s. It was all good. So I felt incredibly lucky. I thought I escaped the acne trap, and I thought I would have amazing, perfect skin forever. But then as an adult, things changed. So my first acne attack, that's what I call them, my first acne attack was in 2018, 19, yeah, back when I was in med school. It's just you don't realize when you go from a child to a teenage to an adult, and then adult life hits you, right? Things changed. There were hormonal shifts, there was so much stress. And I think that's when my unhealthy lifestyle just caught up with me, staying up late, eating outside every other day, lots of fried food, burgers, that would be most of my diet. And that's when the breakouts started. And I'm not talking little pimples here and there. I'm actually talking about painful cystic acne. I didn't know it was called that at the time. I had zero knowledge about acne and what happens, why it happens. And it just felt like it came out of nowhere. There was no warning signs, nothing. Just one fine day I wake up and my face is covered in these painful cysts. At first, I thought it was just a short phase, and I tried all the things that you see in advertisements, on YouTube videos. You see how people do a 3-step skincare routine. This was before 2020, so maybe less YouTube videos were available, less information was out there. So I tried whatever I saw other people doing. I tried really harsh scrubs, and so instead of a face wash, I would use a scrub every day. You name it, I've tried it all, and nothing worked. In fact, my skin actually got worse. It became even more inflamed. And honestly, that's when I started buying makeup and learning how to apply it. Before my first acne attack, the only makeup I ever knew of, or the only makeup I would ever use, was eyeliner, kajal sometimes, and lipstick. only these three items because I've only seen my mom use the same things. And my mom's never was never a big fan of makeup. She didn't get any facials done, so she didn't really do much to take care of her skin. Maybe she just has better genetics than I do. So when I realized that I couldn't fix my acne or it wasn't getting better, my next instinct was, oh, I need to learn how to cover this up. I also started doing social media around the same time, and I became incredibly conscious of how my pictures would look. And that's when I really started educating myself on how to use base makeup like foundation, concealer, blush. And if you remember 2016, 2018, that's when the full glam makeup was going around. So that's the makeup I taught myself. And I thought, oh, if I have my makeup on when I go out or if I'm recording a video, it's going to be fine because no one can actually see my real skin. At the same time, I wasn't always comfortable with so much makeup on my face to a point where it would even feel cakey. But I didn't see any other alternative. So I continued doing that for a couple of years. Honestly, I think I was just embarrassed. That's the right word. I think I was just embarrassed to go anywhere without makeup. It just felt like I was doing something wrong. Even though I wasn't, it was just the way my skin decided to react. A lot of people would give me unsolicited advice. They would say, drink more water, it'll go away, or, wash your face more often, it'll go away. Things like that. And while they meant well, it just made me more self-conscious. Now, how did I fix it the first time around, you ask? It's an interesting story. At the time, I didn't really know many people who were going to a dermatologist, but being a doctor myself, like being in med school, I was like, the only logical thing to do to fix this is to go to a dermatologist. And so during one of my summer vacations, when I went back home, I visited a dermatologist. I booked an appointment. So I was prescribed isotretinoin or tretinoin cream, and then also a medication. It was a hormonal pill. I think it also acts as birth control almost. Well, it has the same compounds that a birth control pill would have. A 3-month course for the medication. I was happy, but at the time I also didn't do all of my research. I do remember asking my dermatologist, I asked her, I said, why does this happen? Like, what did I do wrong that this happened? And what can I do differently to change it? And she said, honestly, a lot of the times we don't know why cystic acne happens, but this is one of the ways that you can fix it. At the same time, I also started lifting weights, going to the gym, doing cardio every single day for a minimum of 30 minutes. I would sweat every day, release those toxins. I lost a lot of weight. I became extremely healthy. I would eat only vegetables, fruits, like no sugar at all. It was a really good phase for fitness of my life, but I think that plus the medication combined worked hand in hand, and my skin became amazing after that. Like, I had no complaints. And so I thought, oh, it was just a one-time thing and it's all gone now, so it's all better and it's never gonna happen again. Little did I know I was wrong. Okay, so fast forward to last year. I moved to Houston, as you guys know. I was one of those lucky few. I had amazing skin all during my pregnancy, like no hormonal acne, nothing. So it was all good. But the second I moved here, like a few months later, I don't know if it was the heat, it was a lot of things were happening. I attribute a lot of it to like hormonal changes or just lifestyle changes most of the time. I still don't know what happened or what caused it. And this time was so much worse. I'm going to show you guys how it looked. Trigger warning. It was incredibly painful. It was incredibly damaging to my self-esteem. I cried about it very often. I'm going to admit it here. It honestly felt disgusting to have on my face. It felt disgusting to look at myself in the mirror. And I was like, what am I doing? Like, why is this happening? What am I doing differently? Or what am I doing wrong? And honestly, it was kind of terrifying. Because here I thought that I'm never gonna have another acne attack. It was just horrendous. And this time around, I did not go to a dermatologist. So everything you see now, this is all Mauni constructed, Mauni made, okay? However, this time around, I think one of the biggest mistakes I was making was I was doing too much. I cannot tell you a trendy product or a product that was trending which I did not try to fix my skin. I was using all different kinds of face washes thinking that if I wash my face more often, it's going to like clean out the acne. But all it did was strip my skin barrier, which means I'm prone to getting more acne. Usually, I'm an extremely hygienic person to a point where some would even call me a cleanliness freak. So I didn't know what I was doing wrong. I change my pillowcases often, I wash my sheets out. I also have like a toddler, which means I scrub everything extra clean. I just kept asking myself, what is it that I'm doing wrong? Am I changing something in my routine? Am I using a new product? I wasn't using makeup too often. I just couldn't figure it out. Out of all the things, I kept thinking maybe it was the hard water here. I need to get one of those like shower filters. Now looking back, I feel like it was hormonal. I have the opinion now that most times my skin reflects how I feel on the inside. Like, it's true what they say. I fell into the DIY trap. I tried every single face mask. I tried every single scrub, face wash, moisturizer, like serum, hyaluronic acid, everything. Okay, so like name it and I've tried it. Don't even get me started on like the product hopping. And I realized that skincare also needs a lot of patience. So you can't expect to see a change in a week or two. Like, you have to give it more time. In part 2, I'll actually break down which products I regret buying and which ones were absolute game changers. So if you're curious, stay tuned. My turning point came when I hit rock bottom, and every morning I'd wake up and think, oh, it cannot get worse than this. And somehow the next day it did. It got a lot worse. I remember crying about it. So much crying, guys. I can't even tell you. I've cried so much about my skin. I would sob like a baby. I'd like go to Sankalp and be like, I don't know why I feel so ugly. Luckily, I have a supportive partner who never made me feel that way. But I was just embarrassed. I didn't want to go out anywhere. I just wanted to stay home more. And that's when I started doing my own research. I decided I wasn't going to just scroll the trending products on social media and see like what everyone else is doing and I should do the same thing. No, I actually started reading about ingredients. I started researching cystic acne journeys and not just acne in general, because there are different types of them. I started watching science-based videos and then tracking how my skin reacted. The major change which I made was trying one product at a time and not multiple. Because then if one goes wrong, you don't know which product is causing you harm and which one's actually helping. So I decided to be more patient. Honestly, mostly because I decided it couldn't get worse than that. So since I hit my rock bottom, I was like, no, now I have to change something and this is going to be it. So even if it's going to take me a lot longer to figure out which ones work, I will allow myself that time and I will take like one product, try it for 2 to 3 weeks, see how it goes, maybe even a month. And then if I like it, I keep using it. But even now, I'm not a fan of layering skincare. I prefer using a singular product at a time. And that's one of the major changes that I made with regards to products. So for me, the biggest mindset shift was when I went from punishing my skin to supporting it, to like trying to understand it, and to stop achieving perfection. Like, no one's skin is perfect all the time, okay? That is just a myth. So I started chasing progress and not perfection. It wasn't just a skincare journey anymore. It also started being about self-love. So what finally worked for me? First, consistency. I stopped changing products every week and gave my skin time. My morning routine was super gentle and I would do most of my skincare at night instead of morning. In fact, I actually stopped washing my face the second I woke up because I wanted my skin's natural oils to help heal my skin, if that makes sense. And I realized that was the only way my skin barrier was going to repair itself if I stopped interfering. So that was the first thing. Second thing, less is more. I completely focused on repairing my skin barrier, trying to see how not to cause it more damage, like stop picking at my zits just because they seem big or they seem poppable. I stopped all of that. The third, and honestly, I think the most important thing which I did was internal care. I cut down sugar. I eat a lot of vegetables and fruits, but I was relying greatly on sugar to push me through the day, and I was harboring like a serious sugar addiction at that point. So I cut it down. I also reduced dairy, which I believe I was always slightly lactose intolerant to begin with, but as an adult, my gut just doesn't support dairy the way it used to. Fourth and the final change that I made was I worked on my mental and emotional health. I worked on decreasing stress. I started changing my mindset to a state of gratitude instead of constantly thinking about what I can do better or how I can, achieve all of my goals. That became more of a I will achieve them, but maybe a little slower than what I thought. Because I realized that my breakouts got worse during emotional stress. And as I became more calm and sort of stressed less about all of the million possibilities in the future that haven't happened yet, I realized that that's how I would like keep myself calmer, be more positive through the day, and that immediately reflected on my face. I'm not gonna lie to you, it took me months to see real change. Around month 3, I believe, I noticed like fewer painful breakouts. They were just sort of surface level, like clogged pores maybe. And by month 6, my scars started fading away. Now it's been 8 months, I want to say 8 months of this entire journey. And now I finally feel confident to, oh, okay, like it's good enough. Like my skin is good enough to go barefaced. I don't wear a lot of makeup anymore. And when I finally achieved that confidence of, oh, I can leave the house barefaced, it finally felt good. Here is a side by side of my skin before and after. And honestly, I know you guys will probably just see the surface level difference, but it's so much more than that. I used to hide behind makeup and filters, but I finally feel confident enough to record videos in just absolutely no makeup, nothing. The biggest difference for me isn't just in my skin, it's the way I look at myself through the day. I no longer avoid mirrors, I don't avoid selfies, and I still get the occasional breakout because I'm human, but I don't let it control me anymore. And for me, that's a big win. Another thing which I think we often fail to realize is that for women, their skin is based on their hormonal health. And so even during your monthly cycle, during the 4 phases, it differs. I feel extremely bloated during my luteal menstrual phase, and then during my ovulatory phase, my skin is considerably different. So I think it's also important to not dismiss that women have a completely different biology than what we assume is just surface level. If you're watching this and struggling with acne, please know this. You are not dirty, you are not broken, you are not unattractive. Acne is only a skin condition and it does not reflect your value. Try focusing on learning your skin instead of punishing your skin and also punishing yourself. Be consistent, be gentle, and don't copy anyone's routine blindly, not even mine. Be patient with your results and I'm sure you will achieve success. But meanwhile, try to remember that your worth is not tied to your skin. It is so much more. Alright, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching and allowing me to share this vulnerable part of my life. This is just part 1 of my skin journey. In my next video, I will walk you through all the products that worked for me. So if you want the honest breakdown, make sure that you subscribe and hit that notification button. If this video helped you or gave you hope, please give it a thumbs up. And if you've had your own acne journey, please drop a comment below. I would love to hear your story or answer any questions about mine. And if nobody told you today, you're beautiful, you are strong, and you are more than your skin. What really shines through is your strength, your kindness, and your resilience. Okay, I'll see you on the next one. Bye.